glad you could join me today. This is Exceptional Women Show, and I am Miriam Ogutu. From a very difficult slum life to financial challenges that affected her schooling, later she lost her memory due to depression. My guest today has been through a lot, and she's here to share her story in the hopes that you will be encouraged. Miss Njeri, welcome to the show. Today.
Thank you for inviting me.
Tell us about your early life in Madar Islam.
Yeah, I was born in 1993, and I found myself in Madar slums. That's where we were living. My mom was, she was a businesswoman at Kemaiko Market. And
the famous Kemaiko where people go to buy goat meat.
Yes.
I've always been saying I want to go there again.
Yeah, but I've never been there myself.
Okay.
I can't remember.
Still very young.
Yeah. My mom used to sell rice there. She would get rice from Moya to Nairobi. Yeah, that's where.
So she was a businesswoman?
Yes. Yeah.
After Madar slums, your parents divorced?
Yes, after that my mom divorced, and because of that we had to move. So we went to Thika, where my mom had a piece of land that was given by her father, and now we started living there. I started my schooling there in a small school called Ndekei. I can't remember the name of the school. That's why I started my nursery school, class 1, class 2, and class 3.
Then you moved to Nyandarua County?
When I was in class 3. And there I joined a school known as Rotara Primary School, where I stayed there class 4, class 5, until class 6. Then during that time, my grandfather passed away, and now my mom had to move with her life. So now later we moved to Nakuru County.
Moving on with her life meant moving elsewhere?
Yeah.
Then you relocated to Nakuru?
So, yeah. When we moved to Nakuru, I was in class 6. But now, because when we got there, they say because we are coming from a village and something, I was taken back to class 4, which was really difficult for me, but I had to accept. I was taken back to class 4, and now that was in Lanet Primary School.
Oh, I know Lanet.
Yeah, that's where I was. Yeah, that's where I was. Now from class 4, I did my KCPE there, and later on I joined Hillcrest Secondary School.
Is there a point in your life that you actually had to go to school barefoot?
I did. That was in my primary school.
At what age?
I can't really remember, but I was around 13, 14 there.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
At what age?
I was very young, and actually what happened, when we moved from Nyandarua, we had, when we were in Nyandarua, my mom was doing some farming and stuff. So when we were moving, she had some cash because of selling the farm products and everything. So when we came to Nakuru, she set a small shop. And because now we are in a new place, a new area, we don't know anybody, life started becoming a bit harder. At the same time, they were not in good terms with her mom, because her mom was a staunch Catholic, and my mom is born again. So they were differing in religion. Yeah.
So literally they could not get along.
They could not. Actually, my grandmother used to say, when you're going to visit her, leave your Jesus outside the gate.
But I thought a Catholic church believed in Jesus.
Actually, that was her. She used to tell us, leave Jesus outside the gate. Yeah. Actually, my mom has a mark where she was hit by her dad when she said, praise the Lord, in the compound.
So it was quite unfortunate because the shop was the sole provider for the family. So after it was closed, I believe the family was going through a very tough time. Is that the point where life started being very difficult for you guys? So
that time I was in Lanet, and now I have my younger brother, and life was not easy. We would go for days without food, and it was not a big deal by that time. We could sleep hungry, wake up, go to school the following day. It's kawaida. Yeah, it was a kawaida thing for us. And I remember one time I had some shoes that my mom had bought for me. The shoes were costing 150. Oh, that must have been a lot of money. Yes, a lot. We had to sacrifice a lot for me to get that shoe. And because of the status of the shoe, people used to say in school that my shoe has a skin disease. Because now, like, it looked like a leather, but it can sometimes be a little mean. Yeah, it was bad. Okay. So it was not easy. So we would go to school hungry. My mom would tell us, just stay at home. When I find something, maybe you can eat. And then I was like, no. I would tell my brother, let us go to school. I loved school. I loved school. So we would go to school, and then mom will tell us, maybe when I find something, I'll bring it to school. during lunchtime. So during lunchtime, we would stand at the gate. There was a
And
place,
wait.
yeah, there was a place where people
Don't
used,
tell me
parents
sometimes you
used to
knocked
drop
down.
food.
Yeah.
So we'll stay there,
And
and wait, look, stay like this all the time.
Because other moms
But the
are
break,
coming and
yeah,
giving the food.
yeah, and the break would just end like that.
So you could stand outside and in the hopes that mom would bring you something, and she would fail to do that when she didn't get something to bring you guys to school for lunch, and so you had to go back to school. So what was that like, going back
Definitely,
to class
you're very
without food?
hungry. You're very okay. You're hungry, angry, everything. So when you get to class, you just have to cope with life.
And later you could go back home to what?
And we would go home in the evening. Again, no food. Sometimes we'd go home. We get rained on our way home. At times you get home, the house is locked. So you have not paid your school the rent, and then we would sleep outside, or maybe some neighbors would give us a place to sleep. So it was really bad.
You know, Emma, I feel like you're telling my story. So would you just take us back to high school? Tell us how your high school was.
After finishing my KCPE, by God's grace, I got 374 marks.
Oh, congratulations.
I was so focused.
Okay.
I used to tell myself every day, I don't want to have this life forever.
Okay, so that became a motivation because you had tasted poverty.
Yeah, I never wanted
People, there's
poverty in my
nothing to
life.
love about poverty.
Yeah, it was so hard.
Yeah.
So after getting my marks I was called in a good school, Menengai High School. Unfortunately, my mother didn't have much. Yeah, she could not afford to take me to that school. So we had a Great Wall TV. You remember those Great Walls
Great
TV?
Wall,
Yeah, we
yeah.
had one, and so my mom had to sell it.
That just goes to show the lengths a mother would go to make sure her children were okay.
She sold it at 2,000.
Yeah.
So that one catered for my admission fee, and we paid 1,000 for my school fees.
Okay.
And whereas I was supposed to pay 5,000. For uniform, we were putting the school now that I got the admission, we were supposed to wear black skirts, white shirts, and blue sweaters. So she went to one of my neighbor's house, borrowed a black skirt. She went to another one, borrowed a white shirt.
It must have been really bad.
And then she went to another neighbor and borrowed from me shoes. And now we bought socks, 20
So
shillings.
now you're complete.
Yes, but I didn't have a sweater.
Yeah.
I didn't have a sweater. And
But as long as you had the uniform.
And one day I was coming from school. That was now a week after I have joined school. And I'm passing some places and I saw it was looking like a rag, but it was blue. I took it.
And
I went home, I washed it, and I used it as my sweater.
Yeah, because normally form ones are expected to have new uniforms because they just joined school, but you did not have that.
It was that bad. So in school, people would actually wonder, are you a Form 1 or where are you?
So your mother, of course, got a job. The pay was not good, but the principal understood your situation, I believe.
The principal of that school, he was there for me always.
He understood
he
the
understood my situation.
I take it you're a bright student.
Yeah, and all the time he allowed me in school. Like when my mom would go talk to him, he would allow me in school and stuff. So that's how I went through my high school life. But when I got in Form 3, my mom lost her job because of some issues came up, and she lost her job.
Then, of course, you managed to go back to school. Third term, Form 3?
3. So the cash that my mom got that time, now she was working as a house help. Now the cash she got, I told her, instead of paying school fees, pay for my exams.
For the Form 4 exams.
For the Form 4 exams.
So the next
Yeah, so that I can do my exams. So the cash I got, we went to school and told the principal, the cash we have, we want to pay for her exams. Let her stay at home. Let her read the notes. She'll come and do the exams. The principal said, okay.
You said you stayed at home for how long?
Yeah, so I stayed at home the first term. That was in 2012, first term, second term. That term, now the principal calls home and said, no, tell Nema to come back to school for her mocks. So I have not been in class since that term, Form 3. I went and I did my mock. And it was too bad. I got a straight E because I not even that. Yeah. So the principal was like, oh, Emma, I was trying to help you. But now, because of this grade, you just stay at home.
Misfortune after misfortune is what followed Emma's life. But did she manage to sit for her KCSE? Don't go too far. We'll be back with the rest of the story after the break. Welcome back. My guest today is Emma, and her story is nothing but short of a good movie script, except her life was real and her story was in real life. So I'm glad you could join us. This is Exceptional Women Show, and I am Miriam Ogutu. And so, before we left for the break, you were talking about, the difficulties you had and the accident that happened just before you did your exam. So now, did you manage to sit for your exams?
You'll come and do your cases. And then they were like, so whatever you have gotten in your mock,
That's what you get.
that's now what. So I was like, all right.
You
I will not even revise what for.
Okay.
Already I know what I'll get.
Yeah.
And so when now it was now close to the KCSE, I went back to school a week before. So I was trying to catch up, which is really hard.
A week before.
Yeah, a week before. So a week before, I went back to school. And one day when I'm coming out of school, I got an accident. I broke my hand.
So how did you manage to perform? Because you were convinced that you're going to get an E. So what was your performance? What was your score?
So after that, now we had now to communicate so fast to the school that I had an accident and stuff. And actually, before, I have that year when I was in Form 4, even before the accident, I was hijacked.
You're hijacked?
Yes, I was almost killed.
One person?
One person.
All these things?
Yeah, but...
Did you at a moment stop and think, really, God, seriously?
Yeah, I used to cry. Actually, at some point, I would take a stool and tell God, now enough is enough. Come sit here, we need to talk.
Let's have a conversation.
Yes, we need to talk. Why are you doing this to me? Then just take me, just kill me. So that all this can just come to an end.
So you were hijacked or kidnapped?
Yeah, okay, it was more of a hijacking because there were thugs who they wanted a particular person and then they met me instead.
Oh,
yeah.
And then they thought, okay.
They thought I was the one.
Pretty, we can get away with her. Oh, they
Yeah.
thought you were the one.
Yeah, they
so
thought I was
how
the
long
one.
were you kidnapped?
The whole night. They kept me the whole night.
But they did not harm you?
No, they did not. Actually, I had to explain myself. I'm a student. I'm still a student in high school. And they're like, you're not the one. But now we had to keep you here because when we let you go and call the police. So stay here until morning, until now we get the person that we want to get.
So they were thugs, but they were really nice?
Yes, they
because
were
other
good.
people would have taken advantage. Even
Yeah. I thank God they did.
I thank God that God
Yeah.
really covered you.
Yeah.
Wow.
So after the accident, and so I remember when I got actually at that time my mom was not home. She was in another village doing some casual job so that she can come back home at least to find something to eat. So I called her and I told her I had an accident and my hand is broken. She was like, now what do? We don't even have money to go to the hospital.
Yeah, to fix it.
Yeah, so but one of my neighbors offered to take me to the hospital and I was treated. And now they rehearsed all day. They were like, no, this is a special case. Now when I was doing my exams, so they had to look for someone to write for me. I did not get an E, actually. I got a B minus.
Oh, were you surprised?
I thank God I managed to get that.
You found a job in a cosmetic shop. Tell us about that.
So in the cosmetic, they were giving me a salary of 6,000. That was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And at some point, I forgot where I had come from.
So what did you indulge in the 6,000 bob you were making? Because to you, I believe that was a lot of money then.
With the 6,000, I would, during the week, okay, like when the salary comes in, that Friday, I would not go home.
But then the wild behavior, I think, you said did not last for long. And then you came to Nairobi and a pastor and his wife took you in.
I told the wife, kindly help me look for a job. That time I was like, even if I'm going to work as a house help, I will.
So actually you got a job as a
Yes, and then I told her, just whenever you hear anybody who wants a house help, just let me know.
When was that?
That was in 2014.
Oh, just then. Okay.
Yes, and then she told me, then one time she was working in Lavington. She told me, one of my clients wants a house help. I'm like, okay, how much is she giving? She was like 10,000.
So from 6,000 to 10,000, that must have been, unimaginable.
I'm like, yeah, that is good money.
Despite the nature of the job.
So I said, I'm going. So I was taken to Kilimani. She lives in Kilimani. I didn't know I was going in a prominent person's house. So I just went there innocently. And then I'm cleaning the house. I'm seeing some photos on the wall. I'm like,
What, with the president or what?
I'm like, where am I? Where am I really? I was working for the son to the former cabinet secretary for Lands, Honorable Charity Ngilu, and I started working there. And then one time she comes to visit. She saw me and she's like, "Hi, what are you doing here?" I said, "I'm here taking care of your granddaughter."
You look like a housewife.
Yeah, she's like, "You don't look like this job." I'm like, "Ma'am, I have no choice, but I have to do this job." "Oh, so when did you do it?" So she asked me some few questions, and then she told me, she asked me, "Do you know how to drive?" I said, "No." She's like, "I want you to go to a driving school." I'm like, "What? I am at driving school."
Driving school.
Ah,
It's
I'm
like a
yeah.
dream beyond.
And immediately she gave me the cash. Oh, I rushed.
To
I was
driving
like,
school
yeah.
nearby.
So I went to Hurlingham, looked for a driving school, and I joined the AA, and then I did my driving. Then later she told me, I want to take you out of the house. I want you now to be moving around with me. So that's now how life started to be better. So at that particular time, now my brother was joining Form 1. So I was like, now my brother will go to school. Yeah, I will now. I cannot do anything for my brother. I just want to see him having a good life in school. Unfortunately, when we had bought everything for him, he refused to go to school.
Your brother refused to go to school?
And she's like, he ran away. I was like, just tell him whenever he comes back, I want all my money back. I was really angry. And he gave the money back, but he said he wanted to go to a polytechnic and do something. I said, okay.
So how long did you actually work for Mrs. Ngilu?
For the whole of 2014 and 2015. So in 2015, I said now I want now to go to school, because now I never managed to go to school. So I said I want to go to school. Now with the little savings I had, I joined a college, and
You had a good
yes, yeah. So I started doing mass communication and journalism. I did it, and then at some point, because I'm not working again, I had again to drop out of school. And then I was like, now, Emma, what do? You need to survive. That particular time, I'm now living with a friend, because I moved out of my pastor's house because the wife left to another country. So I could not stay there. So I left the house. So I was living with a friend. And so I was like, Emma, you need to get something for yourself. You really need to either to work or to go back to school. And since like from 2009, I've been doing acting. So I said, let me go back to my acting things. So I went back to acting. So that's now what has been supporting me with my schooling and everything. And early this year, by God's grace, I managed even to get my own house. Now I live in my own house.
Okay, so now tell us about the depression. You lost your memory for 6 days, and then you woke up and found yourself in Mathare Hospital.
What happened, it is that in our family, there is so many cases of divorce and stuff. And I had vowed to myself that whenever I get married, I will never divorce. That my marriage will work. Even if my mom's marriage failed, mine will work. So I met this guy, and it was after a long time. I was not dating for the last 3 years. And now I'm meeting a guy, and I loved him. Okay, for me, I have one weakness. Whenever I love somebody, I love with the whole of my heart. Yeah. And I had decided the next person I'm dating, I'm not trying. I'm doing it like for marriage and stuff.
Serious,
yeah, so I started dating this guy. He was a very nice guy, a cool guy. And I felt like, yeah, Emma, you found the one.
This is the one.
Yeah, this is the one.
So
but
when did you realize that?
7 months down the line, we started having problems. He would accuse me of anything. Sometimes he calls me, maybe I'm shooting. You know, when you're shooting, definitely you can't pick up for it. Then he's like, oh, you don't want to talk to me, you don't want to talk. Okay, so many issues. He would bring some unnecessary things. And then I started asking him, are you sure everything is okay? So we started having some fights. And then it happened 2 months ago. I went to Mombasa for a shoot. There is a movie I did with Hollywood. And so when I was there, okay, yes, I did one movie. Yeah, actually, it is showing on BET. Yes.
When?
Okay, I don't know really when they show it, because people just call me sometimes. I watched you. Yeah, I will give you the name. And then, so when I went to Mombasa, the schedule was really tight. So, and then they will take our phones in the morning. Then you'll get your phone in the evening. So he used to complain a lot.
So I thought you got
yeah. So I see you're enjoying life in Mombasa. You have forgotten. Okay, so there was so many issues. Yeah, And all of a sudden, that was the day before elections. I had gotten a job with the IEBC at Langata. And so the day before elections,
The August
yes, not the 7th of August, I got some really shocking things. Oh, he had gone back to his ex. I don't know what they are doing. So many
When
stuff.
you said really shocking things,
Yes.
do you have anything against IEBC?
No. I'm talking about him now.
Okay.
Yeah. No, okay. So they went together with the ex in his village, and they took some selfies and stuff. I know the ex put the selfies on Facebook, and we are friends on Facebook. So I saw, and then I called him. Oh, so you're with so and so, and then he's no, she came with my mom. They are friends. I'm like, what? Don't tell me that your ex is your mom's friend and you're also there.
How did
It
that
can never
happen?
happen.
Yeah.
And so after some few minutes, the girl calls me and asks me, oh, so you and him, are you still together? I'm like, yes. So he had been lying to me. They're separated from the other girl, and he's doing the same to her. Yeah.
So what did you do?
I told the lady, call him, tell him to come. So the lady called him, and he came. When he saw me, he was really shocked. So I told him, I know everything that has been happening, and for me, I can't take this anymore, and I'm out of this relationship.
So you walked out?
Yeah, so I told them, can I bless you?
You prayed for them?
I prayed, I blessed them, and immediately I said amen.
You felt relieved?
I felt something. It's like I have been hit here by something. Immediately I got headache. And then I told the girl, can you just go downstairs, go bring for me some painkillers? And then I took the painkillers. Immediately I started shaking. And then I just told them I need to go home. So when I was going down the stairs, I could not even see properly. And then I got down it was around 7 p.m. in the evening. And when I got downstairs, I was really weak. I was shaking and everything. I told the guy, can you kindly call for me a motorbike? I need to go home.
But you're not
They're like, can just go back, sleep, and then you go tomorrow. I'm like, no, I need to get to my house. And so a motorbike came, and then he's like, let me ride along with you because you're not okay.
Just to make sure you're
Yeah,
So he's not that bad?
yeah, he's not bad.
He's not a beast?
Nah, he's not bad. So at that particular time, he was not bad. In quotes, he was not bad. So when I got home in the house, when I got at my door, he opened the door for me. And then when I got there, I felt dizzy. And then I just told him, just leave me. He was like, no, I want to stay with you. You're not okay. I'm like, leave me, because when you stay here, I will kill you. Just get out.
Okay. But you'd blessed them.
He said, yeah, but no, at that moment, okay, that time now it had now hit me like, he's really gone.
Clearly,
he's
blessed
gone.
them.
Yeah, but no, he's gone.
So I'm about to
Yani,
be
he did
murdered.
this to you. Yani, he did this to you.
You must have learned
Yeah,
that.
so I love that man with the whole of me. Now, I just said, I told him just leave. So he left. Now, when he left, I took a knife. I wanted to kill myself. I said, I want to die. All I want, because I have no other reasons for living. So I better die. But when I was there, when I was thinking of killing myself, God started speaking to me. He started asking me, Emma, I remember where you have come from. Remember the battles I have fought for you. Even this one, I'll fight for you. And immediately, I started feeling better. But that time, my heart was really beating. I was not even able to breathe. So I crawled, and then I took my phone. I called a friend. I said, just, hello, come to my house. I'm not feeling okay. So my friends came over. They took me to a nearest dispensary there around our home. So before we go, when we were going to the hospital, now when I landed from the car, I fainted. So that was the last thing I could remember. So the rest, it was a story that I was being given. So from there, I was taken to the hospital. They checked on me. They gave me first aid. I was injected, so I slept. So when I woke up, I didn't know where I was. I didn't know who I was with. Actually, my pastor was there. He came, and then he asked me, Njeri, do you know me? Okay, I'm like, no, I don't know you. I didn't know anybody at that particular moment. So from that day, it was on a Thursday. My memory came back the following week, yeah. And so I was taken to St. Francis Hospital. And yes, when they looked at me, they were like, no, this is a serious case. Take her to Madari. Yeah. So you went to Madari? I was taken. Yes, I was taken to Madari mental hospital. Yeah. So there they checked on me. They give me medicines and stuff. I was injected and so many things. And later my mom came, took me to Nakuru. So I recovered. And then I'm waking up one morning and I'm finding myself, where am I? So I was in Nakuru. I didn't even know how I got to Nakuru. So that's how depressed I was.
So, Emma, of course, your story is riveting and completely out of this world. And your journey is full of God's grace and love, I believe. Now, what would you tell young people out there who sometimes look at opportunities differently? Because for you, if you hadn't agreed to take up a job as a house girl in that home, then you wouldn't have had an opportunity to meet Mrs. Ngilu, which later on meeting her opened a lot of ways. So what would you tell young people out there who sometimes are not always open to take opportunities that might come in fashioned in ways that they is not attractive to them?
Always, I normally say, never ever say, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. You never know where your blessing is. Just try anything that you can, as long as it is genuine.
Emma, thank you for joining me today. It was really a pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Well, I hope you've been encouraged. I am encouraged. So people out there, young people out there who are still wondering if at all their dreams are valid, as Lupita Nyong'o once said, your dreams are valid, except you have to want it and work for it. This has been Exceptional Women Show. I am Miriam Ogutu, and until next time, thank you for watching.